Get the latest and greatest news in and around Lynchburg College. This is Eye on LC. Welcome to another week of Eye on LC. I'm your host, Caroline Moore. Thanks for joining us. Let's begin with some local news. This past week, Lynchburg College experienced Greek Life's Rush Week. The sororities and fraternities hosted events all week and gave out bids on September 15th, and they did not disappoint. Freshmen witnessed the excitement and energy around LC as Greek Life stormed the campus with chants, dancing, and singing, followed by a day filled with activities. This past week, Lynchburg College also experienced the Organizational Fair. Lisa Huber covered the event for Eye on LC.
Thanks, Caroline. Lisa Huber here, about to go to the Organizational Fair and see what's going on over there. So I'm here with Michael Gregory. He is president of the Psychology Club. Yes. Tell us a little bit about your club.
All right, we are actually based off the Philosophy Club. We show movies, we have snacks and all that, but we get into psychology instead. So, we have everything under the sun that psychology could possibly relate to. We have, drugs, sex, why it feels nice, we graphic for it.
Oh.
We've got abnormal psychology. We can get into all kinds of horror stories and freak shows. People love that.
And I'm here with Brandon Rutger. Tell us a little bit about your club.
Well, I'm the president of the Gaming Society. Basically, we used to be the DR Club, and then we changed it. So it's more of an inclusive group instead of exclusive. So we do all types of gaming, game boards, video games, outdoor games, whatever our members want.
I'm here with Alicia Morris. Tell us a little bit about your club.
I'm in Circle K International, and we are a community service club on campus here.
And how long has it been on campus?
I can honestly say I'm not sure how long we've been on campus, but in the past couple of years I know we've gotten a lot more involved in doing our community service.
And have you had more involvement from students as well?
Yeah, definitely.
And have you seen a lot of students today?
Yeah, I think we actually have gotten about 14 or 15 names, so definitely a good amount.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
Yep, no.
Thanks, Lisa. A Congregational Fair was also held in the Dell. Our own Connor Knight covered the event.
One day out on the Dell, students can enjoy food and ask different groups about their religious beliefs. They can also find out locations where they can worship. Stephanie McLemore has more on the Congregational Fair.
What can you tell me about the special opportunities that the Congregational Fair brought to students?
The Congregational Fair is an opportunity for local congregations, places of worship, and the student religious groups on campus to meet students out on the Dell and to share information about who they are and opportunities in their places of worship. We had about 30 congregations from Methodist and Lutheran and Presbyterian and Disciples of Christ. The college is affiliated with Disciples of Christ congregations, so we always get several of those. The Hillel Jewish Fellowship and the Sanja Buddhist Fellowship. The mosque came, the Greater Lynchburg Islamic Association, or GLIA. The Unitarian Church, the Church of the Seven Hills, which is a unity church, and many, many more. It's an opportunity for students to find a ride to church, to get acquainted, to find out if a church is like what they're used to or something very, very different. It's my goal on campus that every student can find a spiritual path of their own to pursue.
This coming week, Lynchburg College will be hosting a Red Cross blood drive. Get into the giving mood and donate some blood to people in need. Also, Parents and Family Weekend is quickly approaching. Be sure to remind your family to come. And now let's turn to sports. This week was packed with some nail-biting games. How did the Hornets sting this week, Kestrel?
Thanks, Caroline. This week served up, well, a little bit of everything. We had some wins, some losses, and some ties. Some teams cruised to their win, some fought hard and fell short, and some were just downright intense and exciting. That intense and exciting game is, of course, our highlight game of the week, and it comes from our men's soccer team. LC took on Emory and Henry in the first conference game of the season. The excitement was high and the stands were full. Emory and Henry got themselves on the scoreboard in the first half, and Lynchburg pushed and fought, dominating possession and getting good looks on goal. It was a tremendous display of goaltending for both squads, but LC found the back of the net with 13:30 left to play in regulation. As time ticked away in the second half, LC turned up the heat and saw potential goal opportunities come and go right down to the remaining seconds of the second half. But unable to connect on those opportunities, regulation ended with a 1-1 tie. So we're heading to overtime. In the first OT, it was back and forth and ended scoreless. Second OT, here we go. The Hornets amped up the intensity and the crowd amped up the volume. LC again dominated possession and got some pretty good looks on goal. They never let up and really didn't let Emory and Henry have a chance to win the game. Both teams were unable to connect and the game ended in a 1-1 tie. The Fellas are 4-1 on the season. A very exciting game indeed. Let's take a gander at the other games this week. Here are your Hornet headlines. Women's soccer also saw a tie as their game against Virginia Wesleyan ended scoreless. They then shut out Sweetbriar 4-0. Volleyball went 2-2, losing to Virginia Wesleyan and Washington Lee 3-1, but shook that off nicely as they beat Avert and Shenandoah 3-1. Field hockey cruised to a 4-0 win over Roanoke, then they were upset by Elizabethtown 2-1. The Iona Meet of Champions saw the men's lacrosse team finish 10th of 14 and the women finished 12th. The meet was made up largely of Division I schools. Another great week of sports is coming your way, so be sure to keep your eye on LC sports, throw on your Hornet gear, and head online for a full list of this week's games. Caroline?
Thanks, Kestrel. Let's learn about what's been going on outside of Lynchburg with Becca Loftus. What are the top stories for international news, Becca?
Thanks, Caroline. I'm Becca Loftus with your international news. 4 NATO troops were killed Sunday in an attack believed to involve Afghan police in southern Afghanistan, according to officials. According to Jamie Graybill, a spokesman for NATO, he said the troops died following an insider attack involving suspected Afghan police. Details were released that suggest the assault was coordinated and there was possible insider knowledge. 2 Marines and 14 insurgents died in the firefight, which destroyed 6 Harrier jets and 6 refueling stations, while other jets and aircraft hangars were damaged. The Taliban claimed responsibility for this attack in response to the movie trailer Innocence of Muslims, which led to protests in over 20 countries. Innocence of Muslims depicts Prophet Muhammad as a child molester and killer, putting the Muslim community into an uproar. In northwest Pakistan, a roadside bomb killed 14 people and injured 6 on Sunday. The bomb was remote detonated and no one has claimed responsibility for the attack. There are no details about who was in the van. Lastly, the Volcán de Fuego, a volcano in Guatemala, has erupted but has since diminished since Friday, according to emergency officials. Some 800 people sought refuge at shelters set up by the Red Cross, but potentially 5,000 people could have been affected by the smoke and ash from the fire volcano. People have begun returning to their homes. They are still seeing weak and moderate explosions as well as lava flow, according to government officials from the National Institute of Seismology, Volcanology, Meteorology, and Hydrology. Only 3 people were treated for respiratory problems. This is the 6th eruption of this volcano this year. That's all for international. Back to you, Caroline.
Thanks, Becca. And lastly, is fall finally approaching? Let's turn to Amy Parada for a look at what to expect. Amy?
There. Showers and thunderstorms will extend from the easternmost parts of Oklahoma and Texas into the southeast by Monday. A strong cold front sweeps eastward on Monday, which will bring temperatures slightly below average here in Virginia. Dry weather continues across New Jersey and much of Pennsylvania, but I can't say the same for here. Let's take a look at this week's 7-day forecast. The beginning of the week will bring some much-needed isolated thunderstorms, which will clear up by Wednesday, bringing us some beautiful sunny days for the rest of the week, with highs of 78 and lows near 49. We should expect some gorgeous sunny days, perfect for Parents' Weekend, but here at LC. Back to you, Caroline.
Thanks, Amy. And thanks again for joining us this week for Eye on LC. Keep up with what's going on around campus and be sure to like our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, or subscribe to our YouTube page. Have a great week. Awesome. That's it, guys.